Hey,
It's both ways.
join up.
I'm trying. It's not letting me connect to your chat for some reason.
Oh, what the fuck? Well, I was telling, yelling at Wendigo 2. September.
Moon base.
Oh, moon
I think I want to
bases.
look at
There we go.
aliens on Mars. Or Mars was originally Earth or something like that.
Hey, that would be a good one.
I think that's what I want to look at. Mars is originally Earth.
So I'm doing reptilians. Noah, which one did you want?
I'm doing Project Bluebeam.
Oh, blue beam. Danny, what did you want?
Mars was originally Earth.
Oh, that was actually a good one.
We came from Earth. We came from Mars, basically.
I've heard
And,
that.
like,
Yeah, billions of years ago.
Their planets died. Mars
It was
died, and we
nuked.
came to. Yeah,
It was nuked.
Yeah.
and then
No,
we came to
there was
Earth
a thing about it
as
too.
a,
Because there's yeah, there's a lot of other weird shit like that. Wait, make a piss. I'm like
Ooh.
always ass. I'm always at the ass end of the race. Why?
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you fucking for real?
Look at these harpies. Oh, they're down there.
All right, Wendigo. Which one? Which one you want to look at? Reptilians, Blue Beam from Noah, or Mars was original Earth?
I would not be surprised.
Reptilians?
Oh, Reptilians.
Oh, I love you.
Ooh. You're in
Click through.
for a
Let's start
good
putting
one.
straights up.
Good, because
Are
I can
you
look at the
limiting-
physiology.
Are you limiting reptilians?
Yeah,
to,
reptilians now off the table. So now,
Or people, right?
huh?
Or
Yeah,
reptilians
whereas
are
people, yeah, people are somehow reptiles. There's people that are reptiles living among us, and it's like the most retarded shit. Good.
Like Elvis was a reptile.
Yeah, or there was like,
Bieber's a reptile.
yeah, Justin
They-
Bieber's
the
like
Illuminati's
eyes
all
changing in the
reptiles.
video.
Justin Bieber's just a crackhead.
No,
Okay.
no.
He's that
There's
guy.
like, it's like a camera glitch. I know this because I deal with cameras and shit, and it happens. Like live stream, like doing live streams and shit, and like
Yeah.
video, it'll do it.
Yeah.
I will show you.
Holy shit, I'm gonna start recording Ben when he streams, and I'm gonna go make my own rabbit hole of saying that Ben is
Yeah.
a reptilian streamer.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, join. There we go. Join up. Turn that music off. What, you don't like Ram Ranch? You don't like hearing about 18 naked cowboys in the shower?
18
wanted to be
naked
fucked.
cowboys in my front yard.
Oh, wanted to be fucked.
Oh, it's
Man,
echoing?
man.
No, that's literally the song. It's a
Yeah.
shitpost song.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right.
We ready?
Oh, wait.
Man, I don't even have a conspiracy theory. The closest thing I have is spirits. I believe spirits, ghosts, shit like that are real. Yeah, there's some debate on it. There's a lot of... That's actually an interesting one, too.
I have a huge thing with that.
Okay, we can make that as a third option, then. We can throw that in.
I have a huge thing with ghosts and all that. So
That's a
Very
whole other
big
thing about
experience.
psychology. There's a lot of like mental.
are we going into this right now? We going into this right now?
Let's make that one. If we want, we could set that up as like the next option because we can have 3 on the table. Because right now we had Project Bluebeam. Forever wins. They can pick from Project Bluebeam, or Mars is like the OG Earth, and we can do Ghosts. So
Who
that would
won?
actually be a good idea. Danny.
Did I win?
Damn it.
Yeah, Danny won. You like guys like that
Again?
idea? Okay. So what do we want to do for the second one? We'll do reptiles and then what? Ghosts or what?
Yeah, let's do ghosts. I got
no.
things with ghosts. I got a couple things. With
No,
ghosts.
we're doing reptilians, and then Mars, and then Ghost.
We're doing.
No,
Mars.
we
Wait,
can
who
go.
won?
We'll still be
Did you
doing it.
win, Noah?
You won. You won.
Yeah.
Reptiles versus
All right, I'm going to the PvP.
mammals. Here we go. Quick little bit.
Amazing
this is retarded shit.
mammals and reptiles. Let's learn about mammals and reptiles.
We'll run over to that PQ.
What's the difference between this cat
Oh,
This iguana. It's like an iguana, I bet. or tortoise.
And this tortoise.
Hey, called it! I knew it's always gonna be one of the two, an iguana or a tortoise. It always is. Every fucking time.
What's the difference between this
Wait, are they
polar
fighting?
bear
Oh.
What? Okay.
Cats and polar bears are mammals.
Alright, this video sucks.
Ma'am.
Get to it. It's like half the fucking video. Oh, explain it. Just a quick breather, dude. Just explain it. Fuck. I already know the differences, but it's better. I want to show it.
Get him.
There are so many different types of animals in the world. Today, we will learn the difference between the mammals and the reptiles. Introduction to mammals. Mammals
I don't know.
are warm-blooded animals. They live in different temperatures. Some mammals
Basically, we can regulate heat. Mammals can regulate their own body heat through friction, due to blood processes and stuff, where we can flexate our muscles. Like, the difference between a vein and an artery is that an artery is like wide open all the time. It can push blood out. But then when you flexate, like, veins are flat. But when you flex and you move them, that's what's helping me pushing the blood up, and that friction is what helps generate body heat in you. Mammals or reptiles are different. They have to absorb heat. They don't have that same functionality as us.
live in freezing temperatures, while others
Interesting.
live in very hot temperatures. Mammals can live in many different environments, including land. Introduction to reptiles.
Technically, reptiles are ectothermic
Get to it!
poikilotherms. Ectothermic meaning they primarily gain their heat through their environment, and poikilotherm meaning their body temperature adjusts depending on the environment
Yes.
that they are in.
This means they can't generate their own body heat. They need to get it from an external source.
Oh, so that
Check
everyone
out Teddy.
fucking
It-
Tans.
You say what?
This is why everyone fucking tans.
Yeah, they bask. Yeah.
Is that why Donald Trump's so orange? He has to fucking steam
No,
himself?
he's
No,
that way
dude,
because he
think
just
about it.
goes and bathes in
Think-
carrot juice.
No, dude, he's a fucking reptilian. He needs the fucking heat of the sun, so that's why he's fucking orange.
You know,
one of his favorite foods,
I'll borrow
hibiscus
that.
flowers.
Look at all these
All
celebrities. They're
species of
fucking
reptiles,
golden
whether
brown,
that be
bro.
turtles, tortoises, crocodilians, lizards, or snakes, all share one thing in common, and that's what we call keratin.
right there.
Although keratin doesn't separate reptiles from other species, it is
Except
something
nails.
that they all have in common.
Whether it be a shell, or scoots on the back of a crocodile, or scales of a snake. Here we have Darth. Now, Darth is
Where's Haley?
Wait, are
I need
nails?
her to translate him for me. I don't understand.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
Mary. Fingernail material. Is it keratin?
I'm getting it off of that.
Oh,
bar.
they made a chitin. Oh, I was thinking, I was like, wait, am I saying
a
that wrong?
black-headed
It's
python.
chitin. That's what
These
fingernails
guys
are
have
made
an
of, and hair.
extremely slow metabolism. So what these guys will do is they'll hide all of their body, and then they will stick that black head, which absorbs the sunlight. Now they're able to then thermoregulate that warm blood throughout their body and stay completely safe. And here we have Tyrion, our American alligator. Now I'm going to clear up a little bit of a
Can I
myth.
pick that?
Some of you may have seen crocodiles or alligators sitting
Damn
out on
it.
the banks with their mouth open.
Well, the myth is that this is a sign of aggression, when in fact...
No, the reason I'm showing you this is because we're gonna go through a fucking rabbit hole, because there are some wild, delusional people who don't understand how reptiles operate. But there's a fucking reason why reptiles are on the ground, horizontal, is to stretch out as much body mass as possible in the sun to absorb fucking heat and also to dissipate heat into the ground. That's why they're low to the fucking ground, all of them. You will not find any bipedal reptiles. They do not exist,
Really?
and it's for that reason. Yes, because they need to absorb heat from their back, but also expel like heat from the bottom, as well as to absorb it too. Certain
Now-
species in certain environments.
Now, weren't birds considered reptilian?
No, though they used to. Or wait, what do they call ornith? Or I know the study of them is ornithology.
There's something in the Discord for you. From me.
Oh, fucking. The fucking reptile. Dude, this is what people believe. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense for them to be reptiles. And then whenever you talk to these fucking people about reptilian people, they go, well, the reptilians, they could operate like humans. It doesn't make sense. What are you talking about? If they operate like humans, then they're not reptiles. Like mammals. That doesn't make them reptiles then, you dipshit. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? If these reptilians, they operate like mammals, then they're not fucking reptiles.
Shut up, bitch!
Oh, God. Okay, I thought this was bring your conspiracy to stream day, not disprove your conspiracy day. Oh, no. If people bring retarded shit, I'm going to ass fuck it. I'm going to rip it the fuck apart. What? And it blows my mind when people bring this shit. Dude, there's so many leaps in logic to believe in this shit. There's like a
As long as I can remember, I've had an interest in what some people condescendingly term conspiracy theory.
Oh, no. Does he
See, I was
believe
born
in this
November
shit?
22nd, the anniversary of John F. Kennedy's assassination. And every year on my birthday, there's been televised specials on practically every channel talking about magic bullets, grassy knolls, other shooters,
Who is
as
this
well
guy?
as CIA,
Is this the
FBI,
David
and
Icke
mafia
guy?
involvement. Even by the age of 10, this spoke to me.
Never seen this.
And of course, there were UFOs.
Ben is not a
the
conspiracy
Illuminati,
theorist?
the
No, I hate the term conspiracy theory because people will present shit that is like wild and like unbelievable, but then they'll look at like whenever you shit on the idea of a conspiracy theory, and then they'll backtrack and go, no. Look at the CIA trying to kill Fidel Castro. Yeah, people said that was crazy. That turned out to be true. No. That wasn't a conspiracy theory. Okay, that's not like the moon landing being fake and shit. That actually fucking happened. There's a precedent for it. This is how people fucking operate. I'm gonna work this shit and back. This is what I hate. This is why I love about like the conspiracy theory shit, but I also the most frustrating because it's like the most disingenuous bullshit. I fucking hate it. I'm gonna do this backwards so you guys can see how conspiracy theories work. It annoys me. Here's a conspiracy theory, okay? Okay, that 10-ounce banana I was talking about earlier. We'll say the conspiracy theory is that Ben steals bananas from Guatemala. We'll say that's like a conspiracy theory. There's always granules of truth, okay? And we'll say this is actually me having a banana. Banana. B-N-N. There, banana. That's me. This is true, okay? I could have that 10-ounce banana we're talking about earlier. That's me having a banana, okay? That's the granule of truth. People will look at that and go, yep, that is evidence for all of this shit. Oh, you're stealing bananas. And then, whenever you question them on it, they'll make another little shit that's like completely hollow and be like, oh, has Ben ever been to Guatemala? And if they ask me, and I'm like, no, I've never been to Guatemala. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, you're lying. Well, can you prove that you've never been to Guatemala? I can't disprove me ever being in Guatemala because I've never fucking been there. I've never been there. But the lack of evidence about me being in Guatemala is now fucking evidence. So there's that bullshit. I'm going to strike through that. That's dog shit. And then it's like, oh, have you never stolen anything before? Like, no, I've never stolen shit. I've never stolen a banana. Well, can you prove that you've never just stolen a banana? No, I can't disprove me not stealing a banana. Oh, now the lack of evidence of me stealing a banana is now fucking evidence. And it's like, that's how these motherfuckers work. When you look at it like this entire concept, but this tiny little granule of truth where it's me holding a banana, it's like, it looks so fucking stupid. This looks so dumb when you look at it and like visualize it, like how people view conspiracy theories. It's so funny whenever you talk to these motherfuckers. And it's like, oh, can you prove? I can't disprove some shit that that doesn't exist. It's like moon landing.
Facts first.
Oh, can you prove that we're on the moon? Oh, can you prove that the Earth is round? I can't prove because I'm fucking on it, you dumb shit. I'm like one billionth of a fucking size of it. You fucking moron. That's...
Yeah. I don't know. They're fucking stupid anymore.
Well, it's not even... Like, it's just to look quirky. It's like a personality disorder. Like, get the fuck up. I know ghosts are real. I can't disprove ghosts. I just know, like, you motherfuckers going to give me.
Cult Nazis,
I'll tell
organized
you too.
satanic
I can't
networks,
disprove
Shit
them.
that I've
moon
seen,
landings, and
the shit
CIA
that's
mind
happened to
control
me.
programs. Hell, even if this is all bullshit.
Oh yeah, so that's why I said I got
it's
some
fun to
things
read
with it. It'll be a long time. We'll
There-
have to be on that subject.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
there
gonna
won't
get
be
the-
another mobile race after this.
No, they were going straight into ghosts after this. I just need to rip
saying.
apart the. You know what? Wait. Let's just look up proof of reptilians, because a lot of the evidence that people are pointing at. Wait, Dan Cummins explores a lizard people conspiracy theory.
It's a growing movement, is the lizard Illuminati.
Yes.
There are adults out there stressed out because they're worried about reptilians from space who live
Or
in tunnels
interdimensional.
beneath us, who mate with our political leaders and create these weird bloodlines and control our thoughts from the moon.
That doesn't make sense. I can't fuck an iguana and make a reptile for Mortal Kombat. It doesn't make
Bullshit.
sense.
Explain it. How did Reptile
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
alive?
But okay, no, hold on. So you can't fuck the iguana, but can the iguana fuck you and make reptile?
Yeah.
You know what's hilarious? You know what's gonna blow your mind? A crocodile and an alligator cannot. You can't not breed them. They're
Why?
that far. They're that far. Their genetics are so divergent that they don't have enough chromatid pairs to make a connection to reproduce.
I just don't think science is trying hard enough.
I don't think so either. I mean, if
Get
we
that
can get
dick
ligers,
in there. Get
Wait.
that dick in there.
That's
I
just
mean-
not how genetics work. You can't. It's like the reason a lion and a tiger can like interbreed. It's called a hybrid. What you have with a hybrid is just an animal that can't reproduce, but it has like enough shared chromatids to fucking live, to function. But it doesn't have enough like pairs of genetics to pass on. They can't. But
Okay.
alligators or crocodiles, even though they look way more similar than a lion or a fucking crocodile, or a lion or crocodile, lions and tigers look completely different, but their genetics are similar enough to reproduce something, but it's not enough for that thing to then reproduce. But an alligator and a crocodile, even though they look way more similar to one another than a lion and a tiger, they are so different genetically that they cannot fucking reproduce. Period. I'm so fucked here. It's the truth. Can alligators and crocodiles crossbreed? Crocodiles cannot mate with alligators. The quick answer is no,
Why not?
despite having similar appearance, because they've existed so long in their own individualized areas that they're just different. They're fucking different. They are so far fucking different. They're genetically too different. Although related, they long ago diverged into different genera. Like, they are so far gone from each other. But they exist in similar environments. Therefore, they're not going to evolve. But their genetics are fucking super similar. But it doesn't make sense, though, that, like, somebody could just, like, oh, you can't fuck a lizard person and make a lizard person. It's not invincible from the comics. Where it's like, fucking, what are they called? A Viltrumite could just show up and just like fuck a human, and then if you guys ever read the comics, like Invincible, you wouldn't understand. But it's like that's the reason why it's a comic book, because it's bullshit. It doesn't make sense.
Explain to me how Zeus fucked all these women and had all these kids. All right.
Well,
Oh, when he turned into a
mythology.
goose and raped the lady.
It was your average December day inside
Oh.
the Amur region.
Yep.
Temps below zero. According to local reports, a man was out just
I see
walking
that
his
in
dog.
Hitsai.
And ultimately, they stumble across this strange 3-foot creature lying in the snow.
Alien.
Why the fuck is it ISIS? Is ISIS recording this video? Why is it dog shit
Missing a
quality?
limb. It had a sort of a dark grayish skin color, no hair or sort of noticeable facial
more
features to
kills?
recognize.
The first question, could this creature be some kind of tragically malformed person?
I immediately found this isn't human because it's very small, and it also doesn't have the formed chin and cranium of a human. Its head is a very different shape.
And here's the really wild thing. This might not
This isn't a real human fetus. This is real. However,
Okay.
whenever
That's crab legs.
Yeah. No. When a lot of times when babies are born, they have I don't want to Google it because I don't know what's gonna pop up. But a lot of times when babies are born, their heads will be cone shaped, but there's disorders where it's not because it's flexible. Baby bones are flexible. Same thing with their skull. But there's times though where it doesn't fuse
it's not
back,
fused,
and then
it's not fused together.
Yeah.
When they're born.
Your skull is like 4 different pieces. Like you've got
That's why they come out cone-headed.
yeah, but sometimes it fused like that. But that's what this baby is. This fetus. It's not a mystery. We know what it is. Wait. Dyatlov Pass. What is Dyatlov Pass? Dyatlov Pass solved. Okay. Oh, is this where people died? Yeah.
Yeah, mysteriously died, and they don't know why.
Yeah, and like one guy was like half naked on the other side. Yeah, and I think it was like hysteria, if I recall.
It's hypothermia.
Their personal items and even a fresh
Yeah, well, yeah, when you are hypothermic, yeah, you get delusional.
meal perfectly
And it's
laid
the last
out and ready
grasp
to be
effort from
eaten.
your
They fled
brain
in a
to
panic,
save the
mostly
body.
shoeless and some without socks, and none of their cold weather clothes despite the temperature being negative 13 degrees. A few hundred.
Wait, wasn't there weird shit though too, where it was like chemical stench or radiation or some shit?
So I don't know. I think they also. Think they also had like they were torn apart or something like that. Like
I think
something
one
got
guy
'em.
was like ripped apart or something. I don't know. There was like a bunch of few things, like the Donner Party, and then there was another one along the Oregon Trail. They're actually making a movie about that called the Oregon Trail.
Yards away, 2 bodies
There's a
were
picture
found.
of an animal
Several
or
hundred yards
figure
past
found?
them, 2
Oh,
bodies
was
were
there?
discovered under a tall tree, clothed in only underwear. One of the bodies had a 3rd-degree burn, and a chunk of flesh from the right hand was in its mouth. All the bodies
High
found were
radiation-
covered
yeah,
in
I
bruises,
don't
cuts,
remember.
and scratches. The rest of the bodies wouldn't be found until months later, and the shocking details only deepen what's the greatest
What's this
mystery
be
to ever
polar
come out
bear?
of the Soviet Union. Late
Maybe.
January
Well, no, I don't think
1959,
of polar
and a group
bears,
of 9 college students and recent grads are embarking on a
I've
trip
been
of a
in Arctic,
lifetime.
but-
The group is made up of experienced hikers and skiers, but they've plotted a route that no Russian had ever taken. The trip would take them on a 16-day trip across the Urals and through the territory of the native Mansi people. It would be a
Oh.
grueling ordeal, exposing the
Maybe
group
there
to
would be polar
bitterly
bears.
cold temperatures and high winds. But the route avoided the dangers of
But they're
trying to
usually around
cross the
ice,
mountains
though.
in winter by sticking to the lowlands. The trip would require great endurance, but the group of young Soviets was well prepared for the ordeal.
Wait,
With your-
does Russia have moose?
I don't know actually.
Are there moose in Russia? Yeah. Okay. I'm wondering if it's moose, because moose don't just stomp or like use their antlers; they bite too. They'll bite the shit out of you. So I'm
World
wondering.
Polytechnic Institute Sports Club had
Just throwing it
sponsored
out
the
there.
trip, brainchild of Igor Dyatlov, who could have no way of knowing that his name would go down in infamy as he dreamt
I can't disprove a Yeti, but I can disprove Bigfoot. Bigfoot's bullshit.
up the expedition. Right before
90%
leaving, however,
sure
the
it is.
university administration mysteriously added a new
We're
member
going
to
down
the
that rabbit hole
expedition.
1,000
Semyon
times.
I'm gonna call false
Zolotarov.
on
At
that
37
there.
years old, he
I
was
saw him
15
walking
years
around the
older
other
than
day.
most of the rest of the group. A
Yeah.
hardened World War II veteran covered in tattoos,
Bigfoot
Zolotaryov
is
cut
a
an important
subterranean mining species that lives in the tunnels under Earth, and that the one that they film, and when they're out, is because they're lost.
Oh,
And
is
that's why we never see them, because that's they're in tunnels under the
Oh.
ground, and that's why children go missing all the time. Because the tunnel system and people who go missing all match up really fucking well. All right. Put
They don't
two and
talk
two
about
together.
serious population density. There's a lot of population density around that, so on average. I know.
Yeah,
I
you
saw
just-
that
you
map.
just don't understand.
I saw that map where it was like, oh, all these like missing people living around. What's it called? But you could draw like all these missing people around these caves or whatever. I was like, yeah, because that's where all the people live. Same thing with like toothpaste sales. If you look up toothpaste sales on a map, like a density of toothpaste sales, you could draw the same conclusion. Oh man, all these people are missing. Oh man, and here's this map with toothpaste sales. Like, yeah, because that's where people are living. Now, if it was like super isolated, like along the Midwest, and there's like a shitload of fucking like a wildly disproportionate, like per capita rate of missing people in those areas, and yeah, you could make that case. Like, but it's just where, yeah, you're gonna have higher percentage of missing people whenever there's more people.
opposing figure. His
Hey, what up,
inclusion to
four?
the trip is never explained by the
We're
university.
watching this
despite
video real
suspicions
quick, but then we're gonna look at the after this we're gonna go look at, because I was gonna do reptile people and I was gonna look at like clips and videos of shit, But I think the ghosts are ghosts real. I think that's more interesting to me. We can always come back to reptiles though too.
That Zolotaryov is actually
Reptilians
KGB.
are
On January
hilarious.
23rd, the group
Conspiracy
leaves
theory.
for Sverdlovsk, their jumping-off point for the expedition. Using personal journals and one communal journal discovered with the remains of the tent, investigators are able to piece together a very detailed picture of what happened in the days leading up to the mystery that would claim all their lives. Photos recovered from the group's cameras painted a perfect picture of a young group of happy-go-lucky college students and grads out on a grand adventure. As the group nears Sverdlovsk, Yuri Yudin has a painful
Where did
flare-up
the
of
burns come from?
sciatica.
Oh.
The crippling pain forces him
they
to
did
abandon the
South
trip,
Park
much to the group's
Okay, well,
dismay.
shit.
Yudin hugs his
I don't
friends
know.
goodbye, having no idea he's just cheated death. On January 28th, the group heads
Yeah,
off
we
into
were-
the mountains.
we're
They're
gonna
never
finish up
seen
the
alive
raid,
again.
actually. We have 2
8
bosses
days after
left.
the group's
We're gonna
expected
finish it up
finish date,
tomorrow.
frantic family members and loved ones begin calling the university and the local bureau of the Communist Party. Search parties are immediately sent out, assisted by local Mensi hunters. Fellow students, prison guards, police, and even the Soviet military join the hunt for the missing.
Wait, what year was this? 1959. When was Citizen X in Russia? When was this? 1992, so 6-year difference. The reason I'm bringing this up is Russia, they had their own serial killer in like the 90s, and like 80s. And the Russian government didn't want to admit that they had a serial killer. They were saying, oh, that's strictly a Western element thing to have serial killers. And so they're like refused to acknowledge it or investigate it as a serial killer. They refused to. So I'm wondering if that's something like this, where there was maybe not a serial killer, but like a murder, but they chose not to investigate it as that.
To slash their way out of their own tent, apparently in such blind terror that they left behind all their vital cold weather clothing, including
people.
boots. Further investigation of the scene revealed the trackway of the hikers as they made their way to the tree line below. The prints clearly showed that almost all of the group had not put on their boots as they fled the tent, and some were walking barefoot. The prints continued for several hundred yards until they vanished at the tree line.
It's like a
There
great
amongst the
horror
trees,
movie.
2 bodies are discovered under a tall tree. The bodies lay next to the remains of a small fire, and yet mysteriously they are only clothed in their underwear. Even stranger, 12 to 15 feet up in the tree, investigators find bits of torn skin and clothing on the trunk, along with some broken branches. One of the bodies has blackened
Were they
fingers
drugs?
and a 3rd-degree burn on the shin and foot. Inside the mouth is a lump of flesh bitten right off the right hand. The other body has
it
bird hair
drugs?
on one side of the head and is
PCP?
wearing a charred sock. Next, investigators find 2 more bodies
the
back up the slope facing the direction of the tent. It's clear these 2 were trying to make their way back up.
Are you guys familiar with the drug Flocka? Oh, wait.
Continue.
Nicki Man accused of charging at Anaheim vehicles?
Only on two
Is
tonight.
this going to be...
Incredible video.
Is there any nudity in this?
Probably.
I don't know.
Just charging at me.
Okay. Then
He was on something.
When Clarissa Vidrio
Yeah.
got into her car at
He was on
Anaheim apartment
something.
complex around 11:30 Saturday night.
These drugs aren't new. Drugs like this are not new.
She never
We've
saw
always
this
had shit
coming.
like this.
And then all of a
Yeah, dude,
sudden,
it's like
on the
PCP,
rearview
bro.
mirror of
Yeah.
my vehicle, I
What
see
the
this naked
fuck?
guy just running towards my neighbor's car, which was parked right next to me.
Police say security tape shows 21-year-old Garrett Smith throwing himself into her neighbor Charlie Barnes' minivan.
What
shattering
the
glass.
fuck?
Our neighbor, told me the story, and I didn't believe her at first.
Vidrio panicked.
Obviously, I'm just spitballing about like the moose and like the Russian government and like cover up and like this, whatever. It's just because there's an actual point of reference with. I'm not saying like the Russian government is actually doing it. I'm just spitballing out. But the difference between spitballing like this and like a conspiracy theory is that there's like a point of reference. Yeah, people do. There's drugs that's always been out throughout human history that make you do stupid shit like this. There's a point. That's a point of reference. There's a point of reference that the fucking Russian government lies about like civil issues. Don't believe me? Here's Citizen X, the serial killer that the Russians did not want to admit was like a thing in Russia because they would have to prove that the West isn't as fucking evil or uniquely evil as they said. There's shit like that. Oh, it could be a moose. That's like taking chunks out of people. I'm not pulling it out of my ass. It's because that's what moose do. They're fucking violent. They're violent as fuck. And they don't just revolve around stomping you to death or goring you with their antlers. They also bite the fuck out of you. Have you seen the video of the lady? I can't play it, but there's a lady that got out of her car to take a picture of the moose, and it bit her shoulder and lifted her up. You can't tell, but under her shirt, her sweater, where it bit her, it removed that flesh. It bit her and then ripped
Yeah.
the chunk out and pulled her up. Like the moose are fucking dinosaurs. Like they're fucking like
Yeah.
oh fuck.
What was it?
There was no animal tracks in Dyatlov Pass. Oh really? Oh okay. Well never mind then.
Yeah.
Fell back.
Up to the tent.
I don't know, I'm
found
just
a few
throwing
days
in
later
shit.
Also apparently
Fuck
trying
you,
to get
Indica.
back to the tent. This one is found with a small fracture on their skull. All of the bodies, however, are covered in cuts, bruises, and scratches. Investigators are now assuming a homicide has taken place. Yet none of the evidence points to the presence of anyone not from the original group. No murder weapons are found, and no signs of foul play. Toxicology reports come back clean. Investigators hope that the discovery of the 4 missing bodies may help shed light on the mystery. They would be wrong. As snow begins to melt, a Muncie hunter discovers the remains of a makeshift snow shelter 250 feet from the tree where the 2 burned bodies were found. Inside the shelter is bedding made out of branches, along with black cotton sweatpants missing 1 leg and the left half of a woman's sweater. Authorities begin to probe the snow in a search for the bodies, and soon discover the 4 missing bodies buried under 10 feet of snow on a rocky stream bed. One of the bodies has a head injury so severe that pieces of bone have been driven into the brain. 2 others have crushed chests and multiple broken ribs. One has a hemorrhage in the right ventricle of the heart. Another is...
Wait. How much force to drive skull into brain? That is 200 pounds of force required to fracture a skull. How much, though? It would be like 250 pounds of pressure.
Well, if somebody was to sit there and jump up and stomp on somebody's head.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, but it has to be a big guy. Kiana wouldn't be able to do that.
Polar bear. What are you talking about?
Well, I don't know if we have polar bears in Russia. Polar bears in central
It doesn't even have to be a
Russia?
polar bear. It just has to be a guy with fucking boots.
Oh yeah, if it was a polar bear, it would have ripped them apart though, like brutal, and probably
What
wouldn't
do
have
you
been
mean?
tongues. I don't know. That's right. Oh yeah, and there weren't any. They were not. Well, I don't even know. Maybe there were animal tracks, or just I don't know.
missing
Wait, if it was animal tracks, they would have noted that because I would have been like right off. It was like, hey, it was a polar bear.
It's snowing, so it's probably got covered
There's no
up.
murder. Well, there's no murder weapons.
And the
Probably
third is
somebody did it himself, and then threw all the shit off the edge of the cliff.
Yeah, that's true too.
I don't
its
think
eyes,
they
tongue,
even
and
looked.
part of the upper lip. The medical
Yeah, it's
examiner
true.
remarks that the injuries would be
It's
similar
true,
to what
actually.
would
I
be
didn't think about
expected if
that.
the
It's
bodies
like,
had been
well, I
found
knew-
at
I
the
kinda
scene
figured
of
it was
the
one
car
of them,
crash.
but
The bodies are
who
also
did it and
discovered
for
to be
what?
wearing pieces of clothing removed or cut from the 5 bodies discovered earlier, indicating these 4 survived longer than the first 5 found. Greatly deepening the mystery, several of these clothing items emit very high levels of radiation. And
Yeah.
The radiological expert testified that as the bodies have been exposed to running water for several months, the original radiation levels must have been much higher. The investigation is abruptly closed on May 28th. The original intent had been to determine if a homicide had
we
taken
don't want no
place.
part of
Whatever
this.
happened to
Yeah,
the group of
that's
9, it was
weird.
clear they had not been murdered, at least not by anything human. Independent investigations are immediately
What the
launched,
fuck?
with dozens of different theories offered on what exactly happened to this group of seasoned hikers in great physical shape up in the Ural Mountains. What could have possibly caused 9 people to cut their way out of their own tent, flee into a raging blizzard with no cold weather gear or even shoes, and then be discovered with high levels of radiation, broken and mangled
Drugs?
bodies, and third-degree burns? Theories fly wild and free. One investigator discovers burn marks on several trees and concludes that some sort of heat ray was used on the hikers. He backs this
What?
conclusion up with reports from locals having seen strange balls of light in the
What?
sky in the
What?
area. The very last
What?
photo in one of the group members' camera is of strange flares and streaks of light against a black
Wha-
background.
what?
Though this is common of the final photo taken with a film camera. The
Yes.
possibility that the group was attacked by a Yeti is also raised, as one of the other group members' photos shows a dark hulking figure amidst some trees. Yet no
What?
tracks except for the groups are ever discovered. Perhaps the Americans did it. Why was 37-year-old Semyon Zolotaryov attached to the expedition at the last minute by the university? His service record contained large gaps indicative of someone who is likely in fact working for an intelligence agency such as the KGB. Could the group have run afoul of CIA operatives or American mercenaries after
Hey, I swear I didn't know much about this story. I just knew bits of like the death shit. Hey, I brought up some. Hey, you will see pics of figure. Really?
deal gone wrong with
I need to see this Google
Yeah.
shit.
I honestly, I think it was just one guy. They detained him in the tent till they could figure out what to do with him. Or
Yeah,
they
that's
could
what makes more
contact the
sense.
authorities. And then he broke free and went to go kill somebody. So they cut out the fucking tent to try to get out because he was guarding the door. Ran out. He killed all the rest of them and then tried to burn the body. And
Yeah,
then
but to
hide or
kill that
something
many
like that.
people though, because it's like, Like, you could go.
He probably did it in the middle of the night.
Unless
He probably
it's-
killed
oh,
the 5 of them
well,
in the middle of the night.
But he killed 4, and they were buried under 10 feet of snow. And then
what makes sense? The other ones ran away and then made a makeshift dome because
Yeah,
they didn't
but
want to
they
be
were-
with the guy.
Yeah, but they were like right up the way. Like that does, I mean, it's possible, but it's like that would be so stupid to do. Especially to run out and just like in camp or whatever and like no clothes on, like with like
Well, if
almost no
someone's
clothes in the
chasing at
snow.
you with a fucking, someone's chasing at you trying to kill
Yeah.
you, would you have time to dress
Yeah,
yourself?
I'm at a bias just because I'm at a bias because I'm prior military. Like, fucking handle that motherfucker. You set on him. You pin him
But
down.
They're hikers. They aren't ex.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be ex-military. Some of them.
Yeah,
but
I know. That's why I'm at a bias, but it's like, I don't know. It's possible. That is very possible.
It would be like Kiana and the girls going out. And then
No,
someone
Danny,
going after
no.
it, like-
Explain the radiation. Oh, that is true too.
Litaryov.
Wait, let's see what they say. The ass.
Shit,
Well, this was like crazy high levels of radiation, and it was
Oh,
crazy
it's-
high at the time of finding it, and that's what they were
Do not
saying.
come.
This, it was like even before that, the radiation levels were even higher. So I don't know. So maybe somebody brought some radiated shit out to kill them, and then they found out. I don't know. It's just all
Most
weird. So many
popular
weird
theory,
elements.
however, is that the group inadvertently wandered across a test of a secret Soviet weapon. It's believed that some sort of missile launch went wrong and rained debris down on the tent, forcing the group to flee. That would explain the third-degree burns discovered on 2 of the bodies, and perhaps even the presence of a potential KGB agent, perhaps attached to the group to monitor them as they passed through a secret military testing site. Yuri Yudin, who was forced to abandon the trip due to his sciatica, would go to his death, claiming that the group was removed from the tent at gunpoint and killed.
He
either by
seemed kinda
American CIA
sus.
agents or the Soviet military. Now, however, we finally know what really happened on that fateful night in 1959. In 2019, the case was reopened for investigation, and Andrei Kuryakov, a prosecutor, was put in charge. Using photogrammetry from the original investigation's photos of the scene, his group was able to better estimate the real location of the tent several hundred feet from where it was originally believed to have been located. This would prove crucial to understanding what happened that night. This new location placed the tent on a much steeper section of the mountain. Weather reports from the night in question show that the winds had been gusting up to 65 miles per hour, with temperatures at -30 degrees.
God!
Photographs from the hikers show that they had cut deep into the snowpack at a right angle to the slope as they pitched their tent, trying to shelter themselves from the
Yes.
incredibly strong winds. What would normally be a smart survival move would prove to be
I-
fatal. The group's cutting into the snowbank had inadvertently weakened the entire...
I was just about to say it. Yes. Yes. They're cutting in at an angle and building a snowbank at the top to add more insulation to one side of it, so you would only really have 3 sides less insulated. But the issue with that is that it's fucking snow. Like, you're building a fucking platform on fucking snow. No, you weren't. Yes, I was. I was just about to say this. You're cutting into the side at a fucking right angle inside of it, but you're building it on snow. And if you try to add warmth to it, you're just going to melt the snow underneath. You're just going to. So they had to move it down somewhere. This is literally... Step back, Ben. Stop. What do you
As
mean?
the blizzard raged, additional snow was heaped into the structurally weakened snowbank.
I think
Sometime in the
Wendigo was
evening, the
part of
snowbank
this.
gave...
I just said it. I literally... I swear I've never seen this video.
I think Wendigo is part of this.
Yes, Wendigo is in on it. I said it. Yes, well, now I was about to say this where it toppled on it, but I was saying, though, I was talking more so underneath. But yeah, this makes even more sense. If they packed it up like this, yeah, fuck yeah, that's going to topple on it.
Gave way, and a 3-foot thick slab of snow slammed into the tent
Yeah.
from above. With up to 1,000 pounds of snow smashing down on the skiers,
It's like,
immediate
man.
injuries would have been severe for those in the most unfortunate locations inside the
And
tent.
those are the ones that
incredible
were-
weight would have also prevented the group from getting most of their gear. But even more importantly, the sudden shift in the snow would have triggered an instinctual fear familiar to every mountaineer in the world: avalanche. This would explain why the hikers cut their way out of
Oh.
the tent and fled into the night,
What about the
downhill and toward the
radiation
tree
in it?
line. The suddenly shifting snow would have appeared to them as the beginning of an avalanche, and their only hope of survival would have been amongst...
Oh, wait. Cold burns, 3rd degree. I don't think... Wait a minute. Can you get a burn from the cold?
Yes, you can.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Got it. Yes, that's what I was trying to think, because you get the same amount of damage. People, when they think of a burn, they think of fire. No, I just did that too. Like, you can also get the same effect of damage to tissue from cold. You can also get it. The same damage that happens from frostbite. If I get frostbite in all my fingers, the same effect would be if I shoved my fingers into heat. The difference, though, is how it's still a burn, but it's different. Like the damage or the application of damage would be different. But there is still actual radiation. I know. That's what weirds me. All this makes 100% sense. This 1,000% makes sense. That's one thing I did learn in the one thing I got in. All my 11 years in, the one thing that I did learn, the only thing I did learn in all those 11 years is that, yes, a burn, you can get a burn from the cold.
The trees. There was simply no time to retrieve any clothing or cold weather gear. The group eventually took shelter under the cedar tree where 2 of the bodies were discovered. They built a fire, but somebody was forced to climb up the tree to find dry branches nearer to the top. Explain.
And your skin is less durable when it's cold because it's constricting. You're losing, yes. And that's where, yes, okay.
The skin and bits of clothing found on the trunk. With massive wind gusts, however, no fire could warm the ill-equipped group, and it would not have taken long for 2 of them to succumb to hypothermia and die. The 3rd-degree burns discovered on the body could have been from a desperate attempt to get warm, or from falling over into the hot coals after death. The flesh discovered in one of the corpse's mouths was likely the result of delirium, the individual biting savagely into his own hand. The 7 survivors then cut the clothes off their 2 dead comrades, explaining why they were found in their underwear. The group now split up, with 3 of them, likely the strongest, heading up the mountain to the tent to attempt to retrieve their cold weather gear and supplies. And at this point, the group likely realized an avalanche was not coming, but in the driving snow and dark of night, there would have been little hope of them finding their way back to the tent. Thus, the 3 froze to death on the slope of the mountain, only a few hundred yards from the salvation of warm clothing. The other 4 decided to build a snow survival shelter and huddled for warmth, likely to wait out the night and seek out the tent in the morning. However, the group hit yet another stretch of bad luck, as the spot they picked to dig lay right above a stream. This particular stream doesn't freeze in winter, and instead hollows out a deep tunnel under the snow and ice through which it flows. As the group dug down into the snow, they accidentally breached the tunnel, causing it to collapse. The 4 fell into the stream below and were buried under 15 feet of snow, the crushing weight of it causing the injuries discovered on the bodies. From here, scavengers discovered the bodies and ate the various missing parts of the corpses' faces. This still left the mystery of the high levels of radiation, though, but that too could be solved with some background info on the skiers themselves. One of the skiers had actually worked at the site of the world's 3rd worst nuclear accident, the Mayak nuclear complex. An explosion of radioactive waste had spread a plume 200 miles north into the East Urals. The hikers had even helped with the cleanup, and one of the other hikers lived in a village inside the contaminated zone itself. High levels of radioactivity would thus
are not so rational to explain as you'd like to. Yeah, some of this seems like a bit of a stretch, and a lot of this seems extremely convenient. But I don't know much else about it.
Be likely amongst the personal clothing of both these individuals. The explanation had not satisfied everyone, but to date remains the most realistic and plausible explanation of what happened to the 9 hikers on that fateful night.
There's a lot more answers to it, but a lot of it is
the only people
very
who know
convenient.
the truth tragically died in the prime of their lives, and if the Soviet government was truly involved, then they've kept the secret of their deaths for 60 years.
Yeah, I'm not 1,000% satisfied. The beginning of that explanation makes a bunch of sense, but then like a bunch of other shit seems extremely convenient. It's very convenient explanations for some of that shit. Like it's extremely convenient, a lot of it. Everything is, yeah, but I mean, we don't fucking know. I don't know. It's plausible, but it would be like extremely convenient. Like all these elements would kick in just at the right time for everything. Like the chunks of flesh missing from them. Yeah, I can see that. It's like wildlife and animals. Sure. It's like I don't have a picture to see. It's like I don't. When they say chunks of flesh are missing, like okay, is that skin? Is it actual like, subcutaneous tissue? Like under the fucking titties missing? Like when you say chunks of flesh, like what are we talking here? Like little peck marks or like a bicep missing?
Yep.
But then it's like the radiation shit, and it's like, I don't know, like that's pretty convenient. And then like them falling, which is true, a flowing water underneath the snow Like, that seems super convenient. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of really convenient. It's possible.